View discretion. I'm not the very best leader within the game. If your attention span is fucked, I would not recommend watching this video, and lastly, good luck.
Quite the literal, first of all. If you're expecting any cool graphics / clips integrated within the segments of the video to elevate the watching experience, then no. Mainly being from my lack of knowledge in content creation and my laziness. However, what you can expect is a bland / boring video coupled with a raw knowledge that I've amassed throughout the years that I've put into clanning, which should introduce you to the field of raid defense leading and its difficulties and challenges. This video will be divided into chapters. If YouTube is being stupid and doesn't show up for you, then either check the description or the pinned comments for the timestamps. Though, I'd recommend going through the whole video so more people get to see the video and for your clarity. Well, starting off chapter 1, action. If you do not care about how to lead events and are just interested in what is it or what it is, then skip over this chapter, as I'll be directly mentioning and talking to the people who want to become a leader. If you're still here, I believe you have a small bit of understanding of what leading is and you've had some experience on how to. So if I imagined a person that has little to no experience in official clan raid / defense leading, then I'll start with this example. If, for an example, there's an event at a fair zone and with a group you've been with for a while and know the skill level of the players in the game and have played the fair zone for a bit and you know the strategies, then if the host asks for 2 leader and you don't step up, quit. I don't want some retard in chat to give me some actual excuses that could apply. Something like your parents are in the background, your mic isn't working. I'm talking peak situation where you can use your microphone clearly, your game is stable, no lag, and you know the players and the map. Even if you have absolutely no circumstances not allowing you to become a leader and you still don't take the spot of a leader, then simply quit on your journey. I could give you 20,000 tips on how to improve your leadership and give you strategies for maps and how to micromanage your teammates, but if you're given the perfect opportunity to improve yourself and participate in one of the most thrilling jobs in clanning, then simply don't even try. I know, sometimes you might have shit teammates or trolls or bad days where nothing is going as planned, but that is how legendary leaders are made. Only through enduring the hardships of leadership and not letting it weigh you down while moving forward will you become a better leader. And hell, if you still think you're not fit for it because you're not confident or anything, go to literally any competitive scrim / raid / defense and ask the host to put you in a spot where you can use your microphone and just keep calling things out. That's how I did it at first, and after I got my game sense up and the confidence to command people, I started participating in officer roles for certain clans, and just through doing the same thing over and over, I generally got better at it. Quick notice, this is for the new gens. If you think doing the same clanning events are gonna get boring, I'll tell you otherwise. There's still people clanning since 2008 and are still going. You can say that clans are dying out, but the main reason is because there's absolutely no new gens entering the scene and taking up their spots within the community. And all the old gens and friend groups are still holding the biggest clans currently. That's why if it goes on like this for a couple more years, when the old men will finally have to give their all into real life and abandon clanning in general, only then will this community be on its last strands. This is mainly the only reason why I'm creating these videos. If you believe you possess the determination to embrace the mantle of leadership in this generation, persistently surmounting any obstacles that come your way and propelling yourself forward while consistently taking action and striving for self-improvement, then I'll be moving on to the next segment. Last part was made in ChatGPT. Chapter 2, Introductory. Alrighty then, raid leading. We call it a raid leader instead of just leader, since it could also refer to the leader of a clan, and warfare leader just sounds ass. As the name states, a person takes up the role of leader during an official event, like for example a raid / defense / scrim / competitions, yada yada yada, those events, or anything similar that involves 2 teams fighting against each other, either on a fair zone or a fort. This is what separates a leader from a normal member during an event. All the members of the team must listen to the leader and hold positions depending on their leader's commands. If you're told to hold balcony, then hold balcony and don't drop. Leaders are generally the most knowledgeable person on the map they're playing on and must be extremely active on their calls and always aware of what's happening. General rule during an event, the leader should go with where most of the teammates are going. So they have the highest chance to be included in the most important fights and give out the most accurate communications. Something like warehouse, where the host would either go for right, left mid depending on your side, or gate instead of going hanger. So this varies depending on your skill level and your team's skill level, but you don't need to think a lot about it, and at the end you're still also holding a gun on your hands, so keep beaming. This is what separates leaders from other leaders. Without going into game sense and if they're able to deduce a situation faster than each other, I'll be talking about the three main playstyles of leaders in Roblox. Number one, default. Now I'll just say playstyles, three of them. There's default, playmaker, and lastly micromanager. I'll be going over default first of all. Default, as it states, typically used in maps that have a set strategy where you separate people into groups and tell them where to go. Something like AF3, where at P1 you separate the shooters from the normals and send shooters left and normals right and play from there. That's the basic gist or same thing of defaulting, usually used on easy maps or fair zones where you'd only have to make calls depending on the other team, and whoever wins their fights and reinforces faster. Second off, playmaker. As it states, you make your team play off of you. This is something like where Guardy Bass, where you know you're that guy and can hit your shots, so you assign like one or two people to pocket you. Means if you don't know what pocketing is, it basically means to only heal and to never shoot, and try to do plays where you attempt to pick off enemies while pushing with your team. This playstyle should only be used if you commonly top frag or are simply better than most of your teammates. Number three and lastly, micromanager. This is quite self-explanatory. You should only be using this with a team you always play with and connect with. This playstyle is commonly used by top tier leaders. The pros of this playstyle is everyone will be more focused on their own role, and with the right team, cohesion will be created, which will 99% of the time win you most fights done right. The cons is you're gonna have to go beyond 100% depending on the map. If it's something like nightclub with more than 10 people, then your VC will be constantly flooded with comms, and you'll have to efficiently switch up members' positions, call pushes, which will require amazing concentration and awareness. Chapter 3, typical guide. So let's imagine a situation where you finally amassed enough experience on multiple maps and have gotten a good level of actually speaking into your microphone and commanding other people without trolling them. Once you've reached this point, your progression within this field will either only keep going up or you will feel like you're stuck. So now look, this section can be summarized in a few words. If you want the most opportunities to practice raid leading or leading in general, either join a roleplay group that supports TPS, which means third person shooter, which is what clans use, or anything related to it. I don't know all the roleplay groups that do support TPS, but these are the most prominent ones that I'll give you, with the highest probability of you getting the chance to raid lead. First of all, GAR, made by Viking Law. Viking Law's GAR remains one of the best experiences I've ever had from RP groups, but one of the cons is you have to put some hours in the main game to actually experience the community, but it will be worth it if you do put in the work after. Whenever I'm talking about an RP group, usually it's a division within the group, and within the division you must 99% of the time get into the scrim team, which will require you to have above average aim, since most of the time they don't use VCs for tryouts, and you'll either have to dedicate time into the division to finally be noticed or apply for a scrim team officer position. Reason why I chose this, as when I was a scrim team lieutenant for 3 to 7th, I could get like 5 scrims each week, which helped me improve myself though most scrim officers use the same maps over and over, which could get boring, and I'd also recommend you using these following maps in your scrims if you do get them. Number 1, warehouse, since it's an 8VA, could go higher, and a fair zone, your players or you yourself might be bored from the map, but if you constantly practice raid leadership and watch VODs of something like the CCL, you'll figure out that this is one of the most competitive maps for players, and while strategies might be static or non-changing, it teaches you all the basic stuff you need in your journey. Another one is Pride of Altars. You might not know this, but it's a pretty popular map in the CCL. Although you'll require 15 competent and non-brain dead players that can actually listen, This is one of the most complex maps you'll play if you've never seen or studied it before, and you'll be able to gain a lot of experience from this. Rapid fire mode for groups. I don't want to waste your time. TSU by Viking Law. My experience was rather lacking, as when I joined one of the scrim teams, I noticed the last scrim happened a month ago, but the situation might have changed. Divisions have quota and they do combat events like any other group. DNIC, not sure about its current state, though I applied for raid leadership before and was able to get some defenses, but since I was GMT I couldn't participate in the most important events, nor do a lot of them, so like one event per day if I actually got people that rallied. It should have been better now. Next up, this will require some work and some experience, but if you do get the positions, you'll be able to play with competent, disciplined clanners who can correct you whenever you make a mistake and help you. So either one of the following. VAC. You can join CLA, which is Cadet Leadership Academy, early by getting level 2. The only problem is being chosen over all the other candidates who have been in VAC far longer or have more experience than you. So if you want to achieve this position, you'll have to be dedicated towards VAC and be known in the community, I guess. Surge, ALP. That I believe you can apply to upon graduation from IAP. I don't have a lot of knowledge about this on the following one. And Souls or Soul Militarum, they both have Soul in the Helios Leadership Academy that I know absolutely nothing about. They are all the same by giving you the ability to get priority in leading events, having competent players in your events. You can rally a lot of people, so you can do a lot of maps you normally can't play because of low numbers. And because there are a lot of experienced players you can learn and improve from. Some honorable mentions. Myth Bushido, it's a leadership academy now if you're old Myth, you know. Outlaw Posse, Shotcaller Academy, Resade, CSP. Both of Resade and CSP, I believe you need to become an officer in, unless something changed. Prime, Aegis Corps, and lastly Apollo Ordnance. These last three have been mentioned because they have nice tech and maps, and because they were newly created, and you'd have a higher chance of becoming an officer. I believe one of them, or maybe all of them, offer incentives to hosting. So like Robux incentives. And if nothing is working for you, either from having the shittiest time zone, or you simply don't have the time or aren't willing to invest your time and loyalty to a certain faction, which is basically just a clan, then I'd recommend becoming an officer in, at least for your sake, an established third world clan that doesn't contain cheaters and has a sane leader. Something like Imperium of Phyllis made by Executa, though as of 31 July, they've begun development, and if they keep up with their activity and organization, they can easily transition into Second World. Maybe Horizon Insurgency made by 6WMG, though I am unsure if they're back to hosting events, since, yeah, that's basically it. Astral Order, or you can just search through the GCC looking for active third world clans, or if you're that desperate, fucking look in GRP for newly started British armies or MTFs that hopefully support TPS combat and have enough people and support your time zones. If after all of this you still can't find any clans that can support your leadership career whatsoever, and remember, it must not be because of your laziness, not putting the work in, then I'll be presenting you three options. Either quit, continue playing as a normal shooter and try to improve to become an elite, or just get a high rank and do administrative work in a clan you're loyal to. It's all depending on yourself. If you ever feel like you're in a situation you can't find any answers/solutions, feel free to DM or ping any known clanners or literally anyone. 90% of the time, a person has an answer, and you'll 99.99% of the time get an answer if you put a form in the CNG Discord. I'll be using the same description from the last video if I haven't already joined the community groups I linked. Chapter 4. Cheaters. Feeling tired already? Well, even I don't know how long this fucking script is left. Alright, so cheaters. Assuming you've achieved a position within a clan where you can schedule events, lead events, and command other people during events, then you should keep your ears open. Cheaters are a massive fucking problem within clanning. People that you might have spent hours playing with them might the next day end up as a cheater. While I do say that, I should also remind you that you shouldn't destroy a relationship to a person or with a person if they're a cheater, unless this is a massive unless. I don't want people in the comments to call me someone that endorses cheating. This is something completely irrelevant to what I'm talking about. Unless a person is scummy, has traits of an immoral person, or simply anything that resembles bad person behavior or degeneracy, then you should either cut ties with them or what you believe is appropriate. Reason I'm literally teaching you about how basic human relationships happen is I'm directing this either to the young audience that might be watching this video, or to the brave people that have been corrupted by seeing the dark side of clanning. Other than that, if you encounter a supposed cheater, either discuss it with your fellow officers or send it in the clip discussion channel within CCR or RCR. If you're a person within a community and a person has cheated, you are responsible and are obligated to remove them from the supposed clan, or reporting them as cheating is the one thing that leads to the downfall of a clan and the one thing leading to clanning's death. That's it for this section. I've decided to record the final chapter in Warehouse without a script, just explaining what a raiden/defense leader needs to know because I'm too tired to write anymore. And I still have to record audio, add some clips, effects, edit, record gameplay, and write everything out. So yeah, unless I say goodbye in the final video, my screen should be showing now. Welcome to last chapter of this video. Basically, for this last chapter, I'll be concluding it with simple strategies for a simple map, otherwise known as Warehouse, one that I stated in my last chapter. So starting, I'll be using, as per perspective, red side. So if I say, since red side is basically like gate is left and blue is right, I'll only be saying left. I believe people are smart enough to not miss that up. Okay. I'll just be going over the map real quick. As you can see, in the middle of the spawn, there's crates. I wouldn't send any person here, honestly, unless you're like 900, depending on the max. If it's like 1000 and you have like 900, they have 100. I would send, if one of your teammates want to troll, then you can set them here. They could possibly get some kills, but they're really easy to kill. There's gate. If you're like playing with 8 people, actually for convenience sake, I'll say like 10 people. I tend like 4 here, some like 1 or 2 like hangar. And last 4, I'd send them right mid. So yeah, terminals. I'll just quickly go over it. Terminal comes here. I don't know where it spawns, and rotations are really random. So I can't really tell you anything about that. I'll just quickly go over it. So terms can spawn here, inside of hangar. If you didn't know, you can open hangar from gate controls or inside. You can just call it gate. If it actually fucking works. I think I need to start it. Okay, I don't remember. Anyways, you can just start it from here. As you can see, open it, and terminal spawns right in the middle of it. I meant fly. As you can see, terminal spawns right in the middle here. You can scout the map by yourself and figure out any strategies you want. This would basically, I'd recommend if you're like new and have never played on this map, you just go to the map by yourself. You can search it in the Surge group. I just searched out Bubbleman78. I should have sent, it doesn't matter. And here is far left. This is called hallway, and term spawns right over here. Yes, these are sides, so similar setup. Let's say defaults. Okay, imagine term is gate. You basically send your entire team here. If gate is open, I'd just recommend closing it. I don't think there's any reason to keep it in open and close. It doesn't really matter. You're mostly going to be focusing on the gate inside. This depends here. If you can like split up your team, have everybody body block here. If you're missing players, you'd send everybody to go on the sides and to body block the doors. Yeah. But if the other team is holding it, you can do a lot of stuff here. You can overextend, bait them, and go back here. It's basically just a lot of tactics, and you just have to actually win the fight inside. It's all about the fight inside. If you fail it, then you're gonna have to go back. If they're a good team, they're gonna push out, try to get some picks from outspawn. Other than that, it's really static for gate. You just have to win your fight once you actually go inside. So this is like, if I have like my entire team here and their entire team is inside, I'd either like overextend. If they have absolutely no off spawns, like I said, and their entire team is inside, I'd either bait, like put 5 here, 5 there, or if they're like stupid, they went over there, well, or like they try to push us out, we can just go inside for free. That's if their team is trolling. But that's basically it. It's basically just experience problem, and it depends on your team. If your team is dog shit, just play rotation at that point. On rotation, they'd either go from their side, like if they were red side and it term rotated from gate to somewhere else, right or left, I just say right here. They're gonna come from their side, so either put people here. Their gate team's still gonna be there unless they do something. The gate team is gonna stay there, so you should also like put. You can either send 2 of your gate members with your other team. So if like if it was hangar, let's only keep 1 person and everyone else is crossing. Or you can just have your entire team, and if you're confident, you can just shoot them once they're crossing. You need at least 3 picks if their entire team is there. Otherwise, they're just trolling by keeping your team here. That's basically the gist of it. Left side, far left. Let me go far left for real quick. For gay, you're just gonna look. If their team is already inside and you're trying to go inside, if they have most of their players on top, you can like fake a push, but you can also just have to drop the opposite side of them. So if they're top, you go down. If they're bottom, you go up. Simple as that. Or you can just like send since it's like 10, either like send 4 and have your 6. I'm using that side for some reason. If you have like 10, go put 4 in hallway and 6 here. So you can, once you push in, you can crossfire them once your team here. But it really depends. If your team doesn't get killed, then you can obviously push win that fight. Since they still have, you can like you have an angle here. You can shoot people, and you can also shoot from hallway to the sides, and your hallway team can shoot. No, if your like team is stalling here, just healing, and they're on the sides, your hallway team can push out, either like go one single side or split up, so you can get term and fight them. But it will also, every single fight depends on your team. Like I said, like always, hangar. Unlike Cardano, where you would send your gate team like mid, and the other teams go funnel. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless your team's good. Like your gate team's good. I just have everybody go funnel. With a new addition of warehouse, they added this backside. This is the revamp. I'm not sure how new it is. It's probably fucking old. I'm not sure why the server is Singapore. Just ignore that. Right. This is practically useless. I would not recommend sending anybody far right. Just send your team funnel, and you're just gonna have to win the fight either by fully trying to go inside. If their team is just holding this, your main task is just getting enough picks. So once you reinforce, you can actually fight them here or here, so you can kill the guys here. They probably would have gone back or just hiding in the walls. So if you're like lost a push, but you got like at least 4 or 5 picks, which is quite hard to do, well, with 10 people, you could at least get like 3+. I'd recommend sending like 2 mid, and your rest of the team go funnel to push out. As you can see, 90, I'd say maybe like 80 to 90 seconds, but it really depends. It's all random. After like 80, 90 to 100, that's like a rotation. Just call it a rotation. So that's basically it. Like for a recap, the only places you're gonna have to like move with your entire team is gate and hangar. Those are the only things you're gonna be needed to actually set up your entire team. But other than that, if it switches mid, it's quite simple. They're gonna have people dropping from gate to go for term. You just if they're like getting desperate and you have higher points, set 1 or 2 checkers. So like if they drop, you can immediately shoot them, and they can push out, hit each other, go on term, while your right mid just pushes up and shoots them. You can also have your gate team overextend if they are losing and we have right side, but they still have people gate overextend. Have your people checkers overextend so you can shoot them more for spawn. It's all about being aggressive. Most maps, if you have a competent team, play the most aggressive you can. That's all I'm saying. But it really depends on the situation, because if they have a better leader, he can probably counter you every single time. So that's basically it. And reminder, don't get angry. If your team's trolling you, get over it. That's the gist of raid leading. Anyways, that's all.
Yeah. Listen, yeah. Oh, I saw that. Oh, my workout. Call my girl 5 because she turned 5. I'm a pedophile, nigga. I live in Alabama. I got 2 black slave kids only you can't see because they love chicken. When I shoot their homies, they cry in pain. Like, jelly fingers. Yeah, all my girl PlayStation 5 because she just turned 5. I'm from Alabama, nigga, because I hate niggas. Yeah, you don't call my bitches ugly because I'm about to fuck your mama when she was 10. Ugly bitch ass nigga, you ugly as shit.
Yo, hold on. Listen. When guard sends the link, I'm gonna send everyone.